So I had something that I want to talk about. Something that's been on my mind lately is when you finish a really big game, like something that really had an impact on you. You're like, dude, that was a ride. Like I'm gonna have to think about that for a couple days. Um, there's there's often such a feeling of emptiness. Like one of my favorite games, if not my favorite game of all time, is The Witcher 3, and I remember so distinctly having so much fun going between the storylines and the quests and talking to people and cracking jokes with your buddies in the tavern and doing all the optional dialogue. And then once I finished the game and I just roamed around a little bit, I was like, dude, where is everyone? What happened? What happened to the adventure? And I was like, oh man, it's over. That's the game. The developers gave us the experience and now it's over. And sometimes if you're not really thinking about that can kind of hit you hard. You're kind of depressed almost because you were so entrenched and so fixated on the story that once it was over, you're like, wow, I didn't even realize that I was having fun. It was just the existence. And an example I can give is I was watching a bit of Asmongold lately, one of his clips. He's a big streamer if you don't know him, and he was talking about finishing Elden Ring, and he was getting really close to the end, and he was like, dude, am I almost done? He had this realization, and he's like, dude, I got depressed. This rarity of game is, it's so hard to find a game like Elden Ring. And then when it was over, it was just like, what do I do now? And so my point with this, ramble, you call it, is this idea that you should enjoy the journey. It's the title of the video, yeah, but it's just something I've been thinking about, because I think that there's so much more longevity, and this applies to really anything, if you don't fixate as much on the end goal. It's fine to have a goal. I think goals are important, but if you think too much about some finite number, for instance, I need to make this amount of money to be happy, or I need to do this to be happy, then once you hit the number, you're probably more than likely going to be like, all right, now what? You're going to need something else. And I just think that's kind of fundamental, honestly, to being a human. Humans, you look at history, man, humans don't stop. They never stop. And you have to just constantly be thinking of something new to do, And I know that can be kind of taxing, or it's hard to come up with things all the time to do, but you should just be a little bit more deliberate, I think, in choosing how the speed at which you do things. For example, probably runner-up to The Witcher 3 for me is Red Dead Redemption 2. And there were so many moments in that game where I was like, man, I'm just going to do stuff right now that does not matter. I'm going to go down to the river and I'm going to go fish, And this doesn't really matter at all. Like I said, this is just something that I wanted to do because it was, puts you in the atmosphere, you feel like a cowboy or something. And you're enjoying the experience, And I wasn't really caring about beating the game as fast as possible. I was doing something that was kind of chill and fun. And I think that should really apply to a lot of things in life. I'd be lying if I didn't say that one of the motivations for me for YouTube is the career building that people have gotten, and the ridiculous amount of money that some people can make off of YouTube. And I think that if I assigned myself a number, I need to make this amount of money a month to be happy, then that would just be futile. It's gotta be more than that. You gotta have some sort of fulfillment that you can think about, something that really, gets you going. And at the same time, it's gotta be something that you don't really ever get to, in a way. For example, with YouTube videos, if you really enjoy what you're talking about, or you really enjoy just making the kind of content that you like, then you're not going to care if it takes you 10 years to become successful, or whatever that means. You're not going to really get into this rut because you've moved beyond the, I don't want to call it vain motivations, because there's nothing wrong with making money, but you've moved to this new level of, this is just what I do. I'm enjoying the process of creation. I'm enjoying, I'm talking about YouTube here, but this can be anything that you're interested in. So my whole point with this, ramble or whatever, rant or whatever, is that you should just be a little more cognizant about what makes you happy, and don't focus so much on the end goal, because I think that there's a lot of value in just the day-to-day shenanigans that you might get up to, or the fun that there is to be had in just kind of being a little bit more deliberate and slow. So, all right, well, this is the first video actually on this channel, I believe that, so probably gonna reach like 10 people, but if even one person got some value out of that, then that's good enough for me. So, all right, guys, I'll catch you later.